Hello and welcome. My name is Caitlin. I am here from Western Montana. I have a few things I wanted to kind of share. So hopefully this kind of goes okay. This will be episode 1. I don't think I'm going to give myself any fancy name as of right now. I do have a few notes. I have a couple things, one thing I would like to share, and we'll just kind of go from there and see how it goes. I'm not going to commit myself to like once a week or every couple weeks, just kind of whenever I can get something up and shared with you guys. So we will see kind of how this goes. I guess I'll share. Hopefully this will encourage me to finish projects too, to be able to share on here. So being in Montana, I do try to support Montana designers, Montana dyers, all of that stuff. So my first project is called Crochet Blanket, which, if anyone on here is a Game of Thrones person, I'm pretty sure it's Bran off of Game of Thrones. This is by Montana Crochet, and it's not very much right to now. It's kind of made so you chain a certain amount and then you work kind of in the round of it. And I kind of wanted to test it out before I used some of my fancy hand-dyed yarn. I am using a, let's see if I can do this, a 3.5 millimeter, which of course it's upside down. This is my Clover, which those are pretty well known and very comfy crochet hooks. This is in the Summer Nights, which I don't know if this is actually made anymore, in the color Treasure Island. And not all of the yarn that I have in here has tags that I can share, so I'll try to put as much info as I can in. The next little thing I am working on, which I'm not exactly a sock person, I've decided. I'm trying to make a pair of vanilla socks. These would be for my husband when I finally get them done. Obviously the pattern is from Kayla, the crazy sock lady, and I'm trying her method of marking, but we'll see kind of how it goes. I did a trip about a year ago to Alaska, and so this is from the Alaska Yarn Co. I'm using a size 0 2mm needle, and those are the Chow Goose needles, so those are that. I also am working on, which there are a few people I've seen do these, the World's Simplest Mittens from Tin Can Knits. This is, I marked this because there's a certain number of repeats you're supposed to do in this pattern, so that's just to mark so I wouldn't lose count of what number I was on. I do have just a little bit of the thumb, and I used a 3mm, whatever size that is, for the cuff, and then a 3.5mm for the body. I'm not quite sure what I did with my decreases up here, but they're a little funky, so I'll have to practice with that a little more. Don't mind the dog, I guess she's gonna come join. So this is from a Montana Ranching Tradition Fiber. They're out of Whitehall, Montana, so they're like western, central, south Montana. So yeah, I like this yarn, and I do have another color of this that I might try another set of mittens for. So we'll see how that goes. I did have one other thing, and now I set stuff down and got sidetracked. Oh, here we go. So this is, which I feel like the Musselburgh has been pretty popular on here. I am kind of working on one, which I got through all of the increases, and I'm not quite sure how far I am. I'm obviously not very far. I think I have to measure 17 inches before I start my decrease again on that. And this is from, it's the Musselburgh by Ysolda T or Teague, or however you pronounce her name. This is from Arcane Fibers. They're out of Canada. And the colorway is Trick or Treat. And this is a 3.25. So a US 3 knitting needle. Okay, sorry, so I might be up and down a little. I do have one kiddo in the back who is doing her own thing. So just these are just really quick. I have been working on knitting some washcloths, which these are always easy if I can't really knit while I'm traveling. I get too easily carsick. But just little things that I can take to knit that are easy if I'm talking to people or, you know, whatever. These are called the Grandma's knitted dishcloths, which I have quite a few. I still have to kind of sew my ends in on, hiding in here. And I usually use which you can't really get them from Joann's now anymore, the Lily Sugar and Cream yarn. I usually can get the super ones and get 2 dishcloths out of one deal. I've also been working on, which these I need to sew together. They're called the Stardust dishcloths. So there's 14 points in the pattern, and then you just sew them together. So I've been working on a few of those just because they're easy to work on, and there are people in my family that really enjoy them. So I kind of knit for them. Okay, so sorry for the few little jumps here. So yeah, kind of some simple stuff. I did actually finish one of these Musselburghs. This was for my kiddo. This was the first one I had done. I had ordered one of those pickle jar yarn deals that came with all the little minis. I'm not sure if the name off the top of my head. So I just picked a bunch of colors to put together for her. So that was kind of fun to try that out. But the next thing I kind of wanted to share, which these are going to be super short videos just because I'm always kind of on the go. This is my first month of this, ordered a yarn bliss box. She's out of San Francisco, and so this was the first little box I got, which I always love yarn boxes. I did she has options on her website if you want one skein of speckled, one skein of like more solid yarn, but I got the box for one of each, so you get one speckled and one solid. So that came today, which is very exciting. I might wait to post this, not that I have anyone that really follows, to post this just to make sure nobody finds me if they get this and don't have theirs yet. So this is her Hardy sock. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25 nylon, 100 grams, 463 yards, and fingering weight. Hand wash and cool and lay flat to dry. So this is for the love of nature. And then this is for how does your garden grow. She did have a little sucker in there, which my kiddo already got. She had a few little, these are flower seeds that she sent, so I'll probably plant these. We're just now getting nice weather to do that. A tea. This is like a shower steamer, which is always fun to try. And some snag-free stitch markers, which these are, I'm kind of a stitch marker collector, so that will be fun to add to my collection of things. So I'm excited to try something with that. So I will link what I kind of talked about as well as I can down below. If somebody finds this and has suggestions, I'm always up to learning little tricks and fun things. I'm not sure how editing will go. If there's any recommendations on the best little quick editing platform, that would be awesome too. Otherwise, we will try to keep these short and sweet and not very long. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you another time. Bye.